Well, hello and welcome back to my garden. I feel like today I have to change my planting strategy just because yesterday my stamina ran so short that I truly must change how I attack things. I really do have to pick and choose my battles these days. And yesterday's planting day fully showed me that. The amount of plant hoarding that I'm doing, and I'll show you in a little bit all the plants that I've hoarded so far. Little kitty is playing there with wood. Um, they don't get planted if I keep working on cleaning up and if I keep running out of breath. So today I'll try to pick at least 3 plants that I want to get in the ground, just because one, I take advantage of this beautiful long autumn we are having. I forgot to mention that I plant in a zone 6B, maybe 7A in East Europe. Our area is called Transylvania. When I tell you I'm a plant hoarder, I truly kid you not. What's happening is this time of the year, a bunch of nurseries around me ran promotions and clearance discounts and so on. And because I couldn't garden for obvious reasons, I just had to scratch my gardening itch. And that meant that I spent a bunch of money in adding various plants to my collection. Here is a little part of my plant stash. Oh my goodness, I took advantage of the clearance, you guys. That's why you see a bunch of sticks. This is a panicle hydrangea phantom, and obviously you can tell why it was at clearance. Then this poor Deodara cedar was out of pot, but I didn't mind because otherwise it's looking quite nicely. The hellebores, though, were not at clearance, and I dared to invest in these because I tried this variety last year, but what happened for me, I planted it early spring, and then a cold snap arrived and pretty much took my plants out. So I'm trying to put them in the autumn. Hopefully they have enough time to establish their roots and naturalize in my border. For today, I want to put the hellebores in. I do have a few hellebores that look a little bit rougher. I don't think they're dead. They just look a little bit sad. These were not like this in the shop, but unfortunately I forgot them in my garage and forgot to water them, so that's that. Life of a gardener. So I want to put the hellebores in. I want to plant the phantom hydrangea, and I want to plant the Himalayan cedar. This is Deodara cedar, which has such a beautiful growth habit. I love cedars. You can tell that because I already have a grafted cedar over there, and I have another cedar in the back of my yard. But the variety I have in the back of my yard is a yellow-tipped variety, and I got it way larger than this one. This is about 1.5 meters tall, but it puts quite some growth, 30 to 50 centimeters in a year, so I'm confident in 3 or 4 years it's gonna look absolutely gorgeous and fill the border. Hopefully, if the energy level sustains my plants, I'll get these heucheras in. They're such a beautiful autumn color. Oh my goodness, this is autumn in a pot. They are gorgeous. I don't have a variety name, they're just named heuchera. That's it. Please don't judge me. This flower border is absolutely ran down by weeds. I don't want to find excuses for myself. It's just that when you get overwhelmed by the amount of work you have to do, it's so easy to procrastinate. It's unbelievable. Let me just show you what plants I have, what I intend to move to a different place in the garden, and where I'd like to put the little stash I prepared. I call it a stash just because it was in my yard for 2 or 3 weeks now. I do not exaggerate when I say I'm ran down by weeds. But at least you know the impact after the whole makeover is done. It's truly spectacular. So I have the denim and lace salvia, which is a shorter and compacter version. Also, I think this spot is not the best for it. It's going to be its second winter in the ground, and you can tell it's up to my knee, so maybe 60 centimeters tall at this point. Compared to the prime time salvia, it's quite small. I really want to move that one from there. Then if I come this way, I have this pampas grass, which is pink. I have another one over there, but that one bloomed white, so I think I want to save this one. Then over there at the base of the pampas grass, it's an echinacea that's petite. I think it's petite because it doesn't get enough sun. So this border is quite funny because during the winter it's a full shade border, but during the summertime, when the sun it's much higher in the sky, obviously it gets a lot of sun. So I want to add some taller plants, not only to create staggered look, but only to add shade during the summer as well, and transform the border to a shade border. I was thinking, if I take out the pampas grass, I can add here the Deodara cedar, and maybe move this arborvitae. Here in the front there's a bunch of daylilies. I think I'm going to keep them, just clean everything around them. This scabiosa is going strong. I'm really impressed with this plant. It's the first year I'm trying scabiosa, and it bloomed its little head off all summer long, so that's been great. A little hellebore that I took as a cutting from a different place. Then there's a curly pine that's shedding its needles, and I won't get into that whole mess. This is pretty much the area I want to deal with. So I think I want to cut things into smaller chunks, just to be easier for me to attack things and not feel so overwhelmed, and feel I do have some progress. I feel like the light is somewhat strange, and also my neighbors are very hardworking today, so you will pick up on a lot of noises around here. Autumn is a great time to move plants around in the garden, because it's less stressful for the plant. You get a lot more rain. The soil is still warm. Alright, so I'm taking out firstly the little salvia, which rooted quite nicely. I have some strong roots. I'll shake some of the soil down. I did not bring the bucket with me, but I think that's fine. I'll just store it here. Then I most definitely will move the echinacea. I moved last autumn a different echinacea from this border up there, and it did great. When I moved it, I also divided it, and I have to tell you, last year it was this high, and it did not do much for me in this shaded place. But after I moved it, look at that, it's still blooming. So echinacea definitely needs as much sun as it can get, and a well draining soil as well. So echinacea is done, and now I'm a bit scared of the pampas grass, just because I think this one is its third autumn here at least, and I think it's gonna be much more rooted in. We'll see. Obviously it's not as big as the one uphill, and I think it's been struggling because it's such a stone new construction type of soil here. It's just gravel and a little bit of dirt, so gravel and dirt, which should not be a problem with the grass. It's just combined with the water draining and not having enough sun. I think it was not a great spot for it, but I'm happy it's blooming pink. At least that, because the other one is definitely white. So I want to save this for a different spot. Again, I will shake a little bit the soil. So what I'm saying is just gravel from construction. Now I will take care of the weeds. I brought the wheelbarrow. Now 3 centuries later, I managed to pull most of the weeds over there, and with the daylilies, when you see them so dry, all you have to do is like pull them there like this, not such big clumps, and they just come off. What a difference a little cleanup makes. I added wood chips to this area just to improve the soil quality over time. I will add some more again, but where I'll plant the Deodara cedar, I'll also amend a little bit the soil with conifer soil, and I'll show you how I'll do that. But oh my goodness, what a difference a little cleanup makes. While I catch my breath, I'll explain to you why I like to clean the dead foliage from the daylilies. I just feel that, well, you can leave it, but we get a ton of rain and some snow during the winter, and I feel that's just the perfect nursery for slugs and other pests. So I prefer to clean it up now. Also in the spring it's gonna be like really mushy. I will not plant the whole in a straight line with these other 2 conifers, just because until the Deodara cedar grows up it's gonna look strange. So I think I'll put it just a little bit towards the back, so I have plenty of space in the future to plant in front of it, so a little bit offset to the back of the border. You can really see improvement in the soil after adding the wood chips. There's still a lot of stones. But what I'll do, I'll dig a hole 2 or 3 times larger than the conifer, and then add the amendable soil. I would not recommend for you to do this in a clay soil, because you can run into the danger of creating like a bathtub effect, where you have your clay soil compact at the base of the plant, and roots, oh my, so the stones are this big. The roots won't be able to move forward, and you end up with a dead plant in time, just because it's staying in water. Here I can definitely amend, just because the soil is, after a new construction site, a lot of stone in big chunks, a lot of gravel, and it's also on a slope, a lot of sand, and for that reason I want to amend and to improve soil quality and give the best chance of survival to this Deodara cedar. Normally I don't add any fertilizer to the roots of my plants, but just because this one stayed like that for a long period of time, I want it to be encouraged to have a fast and new and strong roots. I'll dig my hole. I did try to settle the ground. I stepped on it. It comes like pellets. Smells horrible. Hopefully it's good. I'll just mix it in for a little bit. And then I will put the cedar leveled with the ground, not too deep, because I think the ground will settle some more, and I can just add some more soil in time. And I really think I have to stake this cedar up. Let's see if I step around it, just make the soil firmer. Then I try to remove the roots from the weeds that evaded me earlier. Not too much, but not too little. And that's kind of it with this cedar first. The Deodara cedar is in. Now let's bring the filler plants and place them around. Roxy, mă ajuți tu? So I'm thinking I put one here. Let me take a step back. The light is a bit weird because it's hitting the camera. So we have the hellebore. What if we were to put one of the heucheras here. I'm sure I can find some more heuchera in a different color in the garden, and I'm thinking I don't put them, I just make them staggered, maybe something like this, just because I want to be able to see them as I come up the driveway, you know. So I have two, and I don't know if the second one is needed or not. I think a different color is needed. Let me check if I have another one. So I did find another one. This is a very dark burgundy leafed heuchera with curly edges, and I think it's gonna look perfectly with the other. And you know what? I had in my other stash some astilbe that was at clearance. This was about €2. Can you believe it? It's so big. The variety is Deutschland and it has a wide bloom. It was 80% off, and I grabbed 3. So I think just because the soil is staying so much wetter, it can do a good job until the Deodara cedar grows and forces me to take them out. And this small one, I won't be able to see this because of the daylilies. Maybe a peekaboo in between the foliage. I'm not quite sold on this one, or at least not there. What if I were to put it here, just because here it won't be hidden away by the daylilies, and as I drive up the driveway I get to see it in between the conifers. I think that's a better spot. And most definitely I can bring the second astilbe here in this empty place, just to fill things in and to match. Those are 2 astilbes, 2 hellebores, 1 heuchera and darker one. I think should be okay. You know what else I have? I have a nice little small leaved hosta, and this I could plant just as a contrast to the curly pine, or maybe as a backdrop to the heuchera. This one I can divide. And here's the second astilbe that can go someplace here. It's a tall astilbe, that's why I'm putting it to the back of the border. And I think the foliage will make a nice contrast to the cedar pine. So I'm pretty happy with this placement. I can add something more here in spring, but for now I think this works. I want to divide this hosta just because there's 2 obvious clumps, and I'll use the smaller one in a different border. So that's it. 1 plant and a second plant. This has very beautiful roots, and this has on the other side beautiful roots. I put the bigger one here just because I want to have like instant impact sooner. Alright, I'm so happy for this hosta that I managed to clear it. This last hole has been so hard to dig. I removed at least 3 or 4 big stones, so I'll just add some compost and then I'll put the last heuchera. Also, while digging it, I unearthed some daffodil bulbs. I'll just put these back in. Okay, and now let's just add some mulch in here. At the very end, I will pot these plants that I took out just because it's getting late and I have to go cook lunch for the family. So at least they don't dry up. And I put them in a little bit of water. And then I'll take you on a tour. What a world of a difference adding mulch does to a border. I feel like a price rundown would be super helpful. So the highest price was for the Deodara cedar, which was 30 euros. The astilbes were at clearance, so 3 euros each. The hellebores are a bit of a more expensive plant, and these were 11 euros each. Then the little heuchera was 5 euros, the other one 5 euros, and the hosta for the whole pot I paid 8 euros, but I split it in two, so 4 euros per plant. The bag of soil I added to amend the soil was 5 euros, and 2 bags of mulch, which were 8 euros each. So adding everything together would make a total of around 90 euros. Not bad for so many plants and such a big impact. All of these are perennials, so if I take care of them and make sure they are well watered, I should have them for many years to come. With the prices, you have to keep in mind I live in East Europe, so they might be a tad smaller than in Western Europe, just because the cost of living here and the wages are somewhat lower. But with the clearance, buying clearance and buying plants that can be divided, I feel like you can achieve a lot of good goals with minimum investment. Not to mention that I took all these plants from the border and I can add them to another spot in my garden. I really hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you had a great time spending this time with me, and I really hope you found the combination of plants inspiring and motivating to go out and do some planting yourself. I thank you so much for watching, and until next time, I wish you all the best. Take care. Bye bye.